Shri Parashakti Vidyala CBSE Class 9th Standard Subject English.
Dear children, hope you fine. Today you are going to learn poem 5 in your textbook, A Legend of the Northland, written by Phoebe Carey. 3 and 4 poems are deleted due to COVID-19. Before you learn the poem, let me give you an introduction. This poem is a ballad. Do you know what is ballad? A ballad is nothing but a song narrating a story in short stanzas. Ballads are a part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on orally from one generation to the next. This poem narrates the legend of an old lady who angered Saint Peter because of her greed. A legend is nothing but a traditional story with a moral which may or may not be true. There are 16 stanzas in this poem and each stanza consists of 4 lines. I will read the first 3 stanzas. Away, away in the northland where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. Where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows and the children look like bears' cubs in their funny furry clothes. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it's true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Here in the first stanza, the Northland refers to one of the countries close to the North Pole, where it is extremely cold in winter. The specific qualities of the place are hours of the day are few and nights are long in winter. Though nights are so long in winter, people cannot sleep throughout the night. Here they refers to people of Northland. When it snows, the people harness the reindeer to the sledges, and the children look like bears' cubs in their furry clothes. Harness means to strap and fasten. Furry clothes means clothes made of fur. Bears' cubs, young ones of bears. The people of Northland tell an interesting story. The poetess narrates the story here. Though she does not believe the legend, she thinks that it might teach us a lesson or two. Now I will read the next 3 stanzas. Once when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it, preaching just as he did, He came to the door of a cottage in traveling round the earth where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. Once upon a time, there lived Saint Peter in the world below. He used to preach people. Preach means give religious speech. While preaching, he came to the door of a little cottage where a woman was making cakes and was baking them on the hearth. Hearth means the floor at the bottom of a fireplace. Saint Peter felt dizzy and weak because he hadn't eaten anything. He asked her for a cake, and here faint means weak. Now I'll read the next 3 stanzas. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. Therefore she needed another and still a smaller one, but it looked when she turned it over as large as the first had done. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer, but she couldn't part with that. So the woman made a very small cake, but as she was about to bake it, she thought that it's too large to be given away. Therefore, she made the mixture of the cake again and made a small cake again. The size of the cake got smaller and smaller, but it always appeared too big for the woman. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it and made it thin. She baked a cake as thin as a wafer, but kept it back on her shelf. Dough means flour mixed with water. Wafer means very thin dry biscuit like ice cream cone. Now I will read the next 5 stanzas. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. And he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hot, dry wood. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. The woman said to herself that the cake seems too small when she eats herself, but too large when she gives it away. The woman was very greedy and gave him nothing to eat. Saint Peter grew angry, and he could not tolerate the little woman because he was hungry and feeling exhausted. He felt irritated at the woman's attitude. The saint said about her that she was too selfish. He said that from now she will build like the birds do, pecking dry hard wood. The old woman flew through the chimney and became a woodpecker. Woodpecker is a bird with strong bill and stiff tail. Provoke means here to make angry. Scanty means too small. Now I'll read the last two stanzas. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burned black as a coal in the flame. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. Everything she was wearing was burned except the scarlet cap. The poet concludes the poem by saying that every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood where she lives in the trees, boring for food. I hope you have understood the poem well. Now I will discuss the rhyme scheme of the poem. The rhyme scheme followed in this poem is A, B, C, B. First I will read the first stanza. Away, away in the northland, where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. Here for northland you have to give A. Few rhymes with through. So you have to give B for the few and through. For winter you have to give C. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B. The second stanza, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bear's cubs in their funny furry clothes. A reindeer, for that you have to give A. Snows rhymes with clothes, so you have to give B for the 2. And cubs, C. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it is true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Here for story you have to give A. True rhymes with you, so you have to give B. Lesson for lesson you have to give C. So the rhyme scheme followed in this poem is A, B, C, B. Now I will discuss poetic devices in this poem. First one, simile. Simile means comparing two distinct words using the words as or like. For example, black as coal in the flame. The cloths are burnt black as coal in the flame. Second one, baked it thin as a wafer. She baked the cake thin as a wafer. The cake is compared to wafer. Children look like bear's cubs. Here children are compared to bear's cubs. Second one, repetition, multiple uses of a word. And rolled it flat. Boring and boring for food. By boring and boring and boring. Here the words are repeated. Third one, alliteration. Alliteration means a repetition of initial consonants. Here funny furry claws. The consonant F is repeated here. Fourth one, personification, giving human qualities to animals. For example, where she lives in the trees. Here she refers to woodpecker. Woodpecker is compared to human being. That's all, students. Thank you very much.